I still wonder why some of the UK books are prettier than the US versions. I don't understand that. I'm gonna try to look into it a little bit, but look at this book. Just look at it. There's gold foil. There's gorgeous end papers. What is up with that? Hey BookTube, it's Kim at K. Becker's Books. This is a book haul and a little bit of currently reading. Well, not a little bit, but what I'm currently reading. So I have a quick pile. These are the books I'm most excited about. And if you see my hair flipping, I've got a fan over on the other side because it's a little warm today. So I wanted to show you some books that I just hauled and that I'm really excited about, really excited to read, really excited to have in my possession. I recently did a humongous book unhaul. My daughter and I both did it. And I'm looking to refill my shelves, so that's what I did. Here we go. The first book, I just showed it in my intro, is Hamnett by Maggie O'Farrell. I bought this from Book Depository out of the UK. And again, I don't understand what the difference is between the artwork in the UK and the artwork in the US. Now, the US version of this particular book is not out yet, but this is so gorgeous, such beautiful art, beautiful end papers. You already saw this, but I'm just a little flabbergasted at how pretty this book is. This is the story of it's an imagined take on William Shakespeare's son, Hamnett. And it takes place in 1596 at Stratford-upon-Avon. A young girl takes to her bed with a fever, and her brother is there looking for help, can't find their parents. Their mother, Agnes, is about a mile away, tending a garden where she gardens herbs. The father is working in London. And by the end of the week, one of those children will have not survived. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I've seen a bunch of really great reviews of Hamnett and Maggie O'Farrell in general. I love her writing, so really, really looking forward to that. Look at this. This is a Wizard of Oz graphic novel that is a contemporary take on a graphic novel of the Wizard of Oz. And then at the end of the book, it has the entire text of the book. So look at the cover. And this is the artwork. It's all in color. It's different than the classic. It's a contemporary art on the obvious classic that we're all familiar with. And then it has the text of the novel in the back of the book. I just thought that was really cool. Sean, this one is for you. I found Excellent Women by Barbara Pym in this weird little flowery cover, and I'm not sure why they're published this way, but I have Quartet in Autumn by Barbara Pym with the similar flowery cover. It's kind of orangey, and so I saw this version and I thought I'd pick it up. It says on the back that it's the most famous of Barbara Pym's novels. Let's see. Finest example of high comedy. Barbara Pym is very funny. When I read Quartet in Autumn, it's hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. I think I said that in my original review when I read that book. But I love comic novels. I love Barbara Pym's style of writing, and I was really glad to pick up that version of it. This next one is a short story collection. I believe it's a debut. It's called Drifting House by Chris Lee. And Chris Lee is a Korean-American writer. And
Chris Lee is not Korean-American. She is a South Korean author.
From the post-war era to contemporary times, it illuminates a people struggling to reconcile the turmoil of their collective past with the rewards and challenges of their present. It's talking about the famine in North Korea, the financial crisis of South Korea, and cramped apartments in Koreatown in the United States. So this sounded really interesting, and obviously bought that one. This next book is an NYRB version, which if you've watched my other videos, you know I love. And it's a classic science fiction. It's The Chrysalids by John Wyndham, and I love this cover. This book was originally published in 1955, and this will be one of the only ones I really want to read the back cover because I can't do it justice otherwise. It says, The Chrysalids is set in the future after a devastating global nuclear war. David, the young hero of the novel, lives in the tight-knit community of religious and genetic fundamentalists, always on the alert for any deviation from the norm of God's creation. Abnormal plants are publicly burned, with much singing of hymns. Abnormal humans, who are not really human, are also condemned to destruction unless they succeed in fleeing to the fringes, that wild country where, as the authorities say, nothing is reliable and the devil does his work. David grows up ringed by admonitions. Keep pure the stock of the Lord. Watch thou for the mutant. I wish I had hauled this one before MaybeMidrash, because this would be an excellent fictional choice to read and discuss as far as novels that explore some sort of religious topics or faith. So I'm really, really excited about that. I should stop saying that because I'm looking forward and excited about every book that I haul, so it's kind of silly, but whatever. It's going to happen. This next one is an essay collection. This is nonfiction. It's Growing Up Ethnic in America, and it's edited by Maria Mazziotti Gillen and Jennifer Gillen. It's a contemporary essay collection with several contributors including Toni Morrison, Amy Tan, E.L. Doctorow, Louise Erdrich, B.B. Moore Campbell, Gary Soto, Lynn Sharon Schwartz, and many others. And it's basically navigate the complicated terrain of race and ethnicity in America. And with that resume on the back of the book, this looks very good, very educational for me, something that I'm, and this is the type of thing, an essay or short story collection, that's really easy to read a little bit at a time. The next one is also, this is a book that I have been trying to purchase from Book of the Month Club, in which I'm a member, not sponsored, and it's always sold out, but I found it online, and it's another NYRB. I love these versions. I don't know why. This is Lolly Willows by Sylvia Townsend Warner, and there we go. I just love the NYRB. Again, I'm going to read this quickly. In Lolly Willows, Sylvia Townsend Warner tells of a single woman's struggle to break away from her controlling family, a classic story which she treats with cool, insubordinate intelligence, and to which she adds a visionary dimension of the strange. For Warner is one of the outstanding and indispensable mavericks of 20th century literature, a writer to set beside Joanna Barnes and Jane Bowles, with a subversive genius that anticipates the fantastic flights of Angela Carter and Jeanette Winterson. Yes, all of it, loved that description. The next one is my Critical Chicks next book group pick for our meeting, which is coming up in 2 weeks. And this is Life Among the Savages by Shirley Jackson. And yes, it's that Shirley Jackson. And this is an interesting deviation from possibly her normal themes that you might expect in a Shirley Jackson novel. And it says, again, I'm sorry, I'm reading more off the back than I thought I would, but it says, in her quietly terrifying fiction, The Haunting of Hill House, Shirley Jackson explored the darkness. I just inserted that. It's not on the back of this book. Shirley Jackson. I think you're all intelligent enough to realize that. Over-explaining. I'm booktuber-splaining. Shirley Jackson explored the darkness lurking beneath the surfaces of small-town America. But she also possessed a lighter side, one which is delightfully exposed in this witty and warm memoir of her family's life in rural Vermont. Jackson takes on children who won't behave, furnaces that break down, pugnacious corner bully, and a husband who remains lovingly oblivious to the thousands of things mothers and wives accomplish every day. With a novelist's gift for character, an unfailing maternal instinct, and her incisive humor, Jackson turns ordinary family experiences into brilliant adventures. And my friend Kathleen, who picked this book presented this book for us, and this is the one we voted on, she wanted to bring something a little more lively and funny for our next read, and clearly the summer is coming soon, so I don't spend any time laying out on the beach, but if you want to talk about, you know, summer reading and beach reads, usually we gravitate towards stuff that's a little lighter, a little funner, a little more comical or charming, and I think this is going to be a really good choice. So I'll have that read in about 2 more weeks. I don't know how I discovered this last one. Like, I honestly don't remember. I found it online, I think, and I read the description and had never heard of it, and was delighted that I discovered it, and I picked it up. This was published last year. It's a debut novel. It's The Parisian by Isabella Hammett, excuse me. And this tells the story of a young man, let's see. It's an extraordinary journey through the life and romances of one young man from his studies in France during World War I to his return to Palestine at the dawn of its battle for independence. And this is quite a chunky book. This is 540 some pages. But I love books like this. I love the heft of a book like this. I think not so obviously, it was a little bit of a cover attraction for me at first until I read the description, and I was intrigued, so I happily spent my money on that one. That's it for my haul portion. I wanted to show you quickly the books I'm currently reading. I'm going to be starting Life Among the Savages probably in the next week, so probably the end of this coming week. But there's 3 books I'm currently reading or currently about to read. This one, and I've talked about 2 of them already. Actually, I've talked about all of them, one of them in a smaller way. A short story collection, Love in the Fallen City by Eileen, translated by Kingsbury. I've read the first 2 stories, and I had been reading this book with the theme of the 2020 Asian Readathon this month. So I will continue to read that one. I might not finish that during this month, but I will continue on. I do like the stories. This one is one of my nonfiction picks for MaybeMidrash, and I already read 1 nonfiction and 1 fiction, but I wanted to continue it and read another nonfiction and another fiction. This is my nonfiction. It's The Cloister Walk by Kathleen Norris. Kathleen Norris is a poet and a writer, and she spent, I think, a total of 1.5 years as a Benedictine oblate. The word looks like oblate, but I think it's pronounced oblate. And I am going to link the channel for Jason at Byways and Bookland, and he is also an Irish booktuber who is, I believe, a Benedictine oblate as well. And I just recently started watching his channel and am fascinated by that whole topic. And he kind of explained what that is, so I'm going to link his channel, and he as well did some MaybeMidrash videos. But Kathleen Norris is a poet, and she spent that time with a Benedictine monastery among monks. And she was a student and an academic. She describes they are I gotta calm down a little bit. Book hauls always get me really worked up. So she describes their daily routines and schedules. She talks about her studies among monks, her input and her participation in what they're doing in monasteries. She kind of opens the curtain to what we think, and we have ideas of what we believe monasteries and monks are like, and some of that she actually crushes. She also talks a lot about poetry and art, but what fascinates me and what fascinated me about my last fiction book, In This House of Breed, was the life of contemplation and the life of Benedictine monks and nuns, and their calling, their purpose, their thoughts about their faith and God. And I can't wait to continue with this one. She actually, in one of the early chapters, there's the entire chapter on Jeremiah as writer, the necessary other. And this is the prophet Jeremiah. She is reading the book of Jeremiah from scripture, and I loved reading her thoughts on that. So I'm hoping I can get 3 books I'm currently reading maybe done within, we'll have a long weekend. This is Saturday and I've been reading earlier, so maybe I would love to have at least these 2 books done this weekend. And then my second fiction book for MaybeMidrash that I am determined to start at least tomorrow is The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. This is a contemporary, and I say contemporary, it was published in 1996, a contemporary novel about science fiction, contemporary science fiction novel, I don't know if I said that already, about a journey to a distant planet and to the center of the human soul. From what I can understand about the story and reading the description simply on the jacket, it's going to have quite a bit of commentary on missionaries and missions, faith, religion, and science fiction. So I will start this hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday, because in the US Monday is a holiday, so I don't have to work. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's my book haul, and those are the books I'm currently reading. Let me know if you have any input or opinions on anything, any of the books I showed you, or any of the books that I'm currently reading. Look forward to hearing from you, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.